So after my how to use VR in Blender, I thought we'd go on to SketchUp. And there's this they do make their own viewer, but this VR Sketch is like an extension, and it's far better than the SketchUp viewer apparently. Out of all the VR, like this seems to be the most well implemented and usable. So you would download it here. It does work with SketchUp Make 2017. You see, you've got it there. You'd go Extensions Manager, install the file, and then you can run it here. But because SketchUp I want to use the latest version and pay for a license, so they stopped the free version at 2017. I've got the trial here. All their assets and everything, their warehouse only works with the latest version typically. So I'm going to use the latest version, although, like I say, it does work fine with 2017. So we go launch, and we've got two versions. You can either do the PC one, which is the one we're going to do, or there's actually an app, VR Sketch, on App Lab, and so that will run natively on the Quest. You won't need Steam then, and what it'll do is you run it, and providing on the same network, it will give you a pin, and then when you run it on the PC, it'll say put in the pin, and it'll connect. So in that way, you don't need virtual desktop or Steam VR or anything. It will just run. But I obviously I've got the PC, I've got Steam VR working, and I quite like having this ability to pin the viewport, so you can have both the application on a 2D plane and it's represented in VR in the same environment. I think that's a pretty good way of working, just because then you have the best of both worlds, right? So let's do this, see if this works. It's going to show me up now, not work. So yeah, the great thing about you see it has a scale. So unlike the other one in Blender, you can actually put it to 1:1, albeit that we're quite high. And I think you can go, yeah, you can. There's a teleport, which there isn't in the Blender. Is there a laser pointer? I think there's on the menu option. A teleport. There we go. And if I stood up, I'd be the same height as the person with the pipe, I guess, which I am pretty much. So that's, and yeah, I mean, obviously it's difficult to convey this, but this really does feel like I'm standing in some, I don't know, is it some sort of temple or not? But yeah, it's absolute 1:1 scale. Go down the stair, and you've got walking as well. So this is really, I mean, as I say, out of all of the VR implementations with the DCC app, this is really, really well done. So we go choose tool. We have all these tools. So we have the pen. Maybe do it on the hand that I draw with. And it gives you the dimension. You can actually put in a dimension, I think. Set length. Let's put 3 foot. So, and again we could go set length 3. Okay. I'm not sure if there's snapping, but it's just like, this is like super polished in terms of, and then presumably we can connect it there. And we have a, no, it doesn't do the face. Anyway, let's have a look at some more tools. Rectangle, similar deal. You can go or if we click two-step set width. There we go. Set width. So go 3, and then 2 or something. Is it still? There you go. It does sort of snap as well, and because it knows it's actually get a. I mean, this is like really, I say, really usable. More usable than Blender thing, but obviously that was a free thing that a guy just made off his own back. So this is, but you can see this is like it works just as well, very very similar to how it does on the desktop. No. It's not quite right. Yeah, I'm sure I could, with a bit more playing. I mean, I'm just scratching the surface. Just to, you got undos as well, and redos. What else we have? But yeah, I think to date, this has got to be the best in-world building. I mean, you would have thought that it somehow it would be easier, but it actually seems to be, obviously it's this kind of abstraction of stuff that you already have when you're in 2D to kind of simplify things. If we do paths or notes, all right, so I can write. Yeah, that's pretty good. I think other things. Yeah, that's about it really. On I mean, like I say, you got the basic tools. I can rotate, freehand. Let's try that. Oh, is that? It sort of retains its thing. If it does that with the box. No, it's just obviously it's the primitive being a cylinder or something. Yeah, I mean, there's not really a lot more to say. I mean, I think you're just going to have to experiment to see if it suits your workflow or whatever. But teleport. Yeah, and this is obviously super good for if you're navigating. I mean, this really does lend itself to, because obviously architect companies do use SketchUp. I've worked on a number of projects, hospital and stuff, where it's all been drawn up in SketchUp. So to be able to just work in SketchUp without having to go out to Unreal or Unity or whatever to see, because you can obviously modify stuff. Use selection. Okay, we have that selected. Can we move that? Can I just grab it? It grabs the whole thing. Menu, move. Yeah, so that's presumably a entity. All right. Okay. Yeah. In fact, you don't need with this one here. You can just literally put it on the thing and yeah. I mean, this is really well done. This really just feels like you're actually model making sort of thing. Move, rotate. It's a shame it doesn't have the one tool for both move and rotate. But I mean, this is the thing. I don't think any app has got all the complete answer. They all have their pluses and minuses, all good in one bit or the other. They don't tend to have the whole thing. Oops. And then we can go back to teleport if we want to go back to either we use a scale here, go down to 1 1, or we can go teleport and just teleport onto the thing, and we're back to real world scale and the building floating up in the sky. And we have it down here. Although we have, we could interact with the mouse. Go and find the mouse. There we go. And also, this supports. I mean, they really thought this. It supports multiple users as well. So you could have the architect and their client, for example. I guess. Yeah. Okay. I think stop the video.